welcome back to another episode of Smashing That Bass. Today we will be painting a pre-foiled bait here from Dinger Custom Baits. I did get a request on a video when I put this foil on myself, so at the end of the video I will show you how that's done. Let's go ahead and get started. So this bait's going to be similar to the one I did for Sunfish King, but I am going to change some things on it. Like we will leave the gills here, the gill plate, unpainted. I don't know, I may throw a little black. I just kind of wing it, just kind of decide as I go. That's just kind of how I do things. Here we're using orange transparent. Now we got the red ready to go. Alright, so the one thing I'm going to do different on this one is I'm going to put some tropical green along the shoulders. Next color is going to be this opaque black on the back side. As I said before, I'm pretty much going to leave this with no paint, probably a little black around the eyes, so we will get a little bit. But since we did get some paint on it, you can just take a Q-tip, you know, with some airbrush cleaner, just a really light dab on there, maybe pat it out a little bit. You can take it, the stuff will come right off. Alright, we got both gill plates cleaned up. You can see how it's shining real good again. I'm just going to hit around the eyes real light with the black. Alright, so I'm going to use this comb to put a pattern on the side of this. Hopefully I don't mess this up. It's my first time trying this. So hopefully we didn't just spray all that for nothing. I put some tape so we don't get any on the gill plate, hopefully. If so, we can always take the cleaner and, you know, clean it off. Just a light coat. Kind of see that there, just kind of did the bottom, and it kind of fades out as it goes back a little bit. Same thing on that side. The clear coat will really make it pop later, so I guess we'll see how we did. Alright, so we're going to coat the bottom in opaque white and then do a little orange up by the throat. Alright, here we go with the transparent orange. I don't have a solid, so I just have to put a couple coats just right here on the throat. Alright, I think that's going to be good enough for the orange for me. I'm not going to make it super dark. We'll throw some eyes in it, put some clear on it. We'll get to see the end result. Alright, so this is a bait that I put foil on. I'm going to show you all how I did it since I had someone ask me to do a video on it. So this is the foil. This is the back side. It's got like a, you know, like a kind of like a cardboard type back. So all I do is lay it down, throw the bait on there, just kind of get, you know, the amount that you need pretty much. We have our piece cut out for it. Now this has a like a protective clear film on the front. You don't want to take that off right away, so you just peel the back off. And it's, you know, it's an adhesive, so it's sticky on the back. We still have the protective film on the front. I'll show you why you want to leave that on until you're done here in a second. There is, the way I did in my video, I just did the top half. So there's like a little line that comes down the bait here. So what you can do if you would like is you can take a Sharpie and just kind of put a little dot as to where that groove is. And I'll show you here in a minute while we're talking about that groove. So you take your adhesive, and all I do is I press down on it like that, just kind of work my way kind of to the bottom, lightly pressing it, work my way up to the top. As you can see, it's kind of like molding it. And then I'll take a pair of scissors and I'll just trim it like that. Maybe trim it a little more. Now that mark that we just made is for, like, if you didn't want to do the whole bait, like I said, that center line didn't show up real well, but there's like a center line. So what that's for is that's for that mark. You can kind of find it by kind of just kind of playing around here. That's why we didn't take off this clear plastic you see here. It's kind of coming up now. Because you don't want to mess up the finish, obviously. So you take a toothpick, you find that line, and you just slowly work your way down the bait with it. It's going to be probably kind of tough for it to show up with the glare and stuff in this camera, but that center line we found, we're just working it. So we're just working that center line that goes down the middle of the bait with the toothpick. It's got to be kind of light and careful. It takes a little bit of time, because if you go off to the side like this, you can probably see how it puts marks in it. So if you don't want those marks, you just got to work it down the bait real carefully. Cut this bottom off. So you can kind of see that line there. We can go ahead and take this clear plastic off now. Of course. You can see where with the toothpick we made that line, right? So all you're going to do is you're going to take an X-Acto knife, brand new blade's best. You're going to run that right down where you ran the toothpick, real lightly. You don't want to cut into the bait. So you're just going to run that right on down. You're also going to want to run it around this gill plate, real lightly once again, so you're not cutting into the bait. Just take that off. Then you have this top section. You know, sometimes it'll crinkle up. So all you do is just push it down. Make sure this is nice and tight to the bait, and just kind of work it out with your hands. You can use You can even use a like a credit card, or you know, like I just have a thing from a tackle box here. It's got a nice edge on it, and you can kind of just work it, kind of push out those air bubbles, and then once again you would take your X-Acto knife and you'll just run it again lightly down along this back side. Just peel this off. Looks like we need to cut a little more there. And then you can see how it kind of jogs out there. You know, you can go back over and just kind of clean it up and make it look exactly how you want it. So that's pretty much the gist of it there. Like I said, you can clean this up, make this straighter. I'm not going to worry about it just because I'm doing it for demonstration purposes. Also, what I like to do is take a hair dryer and just heat it up, you know, for about, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, a minute or so, and then just kind of press down on it. So that's how I do my foil.